Hola clase y bienvenidos a la lección de los pronombres de complemento directo e indirecto. Hello class and welcome to today's lesson on direct and indirect object pronouns. Before we begin, here are the direct object pronouns. Me, te, lo, la, nos, los, las. Here are the indirect object pronouns in Spanish. Me, te, le, nos, les. Note that le can also be se and les can also be se. We'll come back to that later. Now, listen to this short story / monologue and try and listen for direct object pronouns and indirect object pronouns. Juan está en el centro comercial otra vez. Vamos, Juan. Y ve muchas cosas interesantes otra vez. Hay dos robots que están acercándose rápidamente hacia él. ¿Cómo está usted, señor? Los dos le gritan al mismo tiempo. Yo lo dije primero, grita el primero. No, yo se lo dije primero, grita aún más fuerte el segundo. Quiero su voto. No, yo quiero su voto. Yo lo quiero más que ella. No, yo lo quiero más que él. Démelo, por favor. No, démelo a mí. No se lo dé a ella. Y enseguida los robots empezaron a golpearse repetidamente. ¡Qué mala suerte!, murmuró Juan. Ir al centro comercial el día en que salen el robot Trump y el robot Hillary. Juan decidió escaparse de la locura de la situación, pero al salir del centro comercial se topó con dos ancianas gemelas de 113 años. Hola, joven, ¿tienes un minuto que me puedes prestar?, le dijo la primera. Bueno, señora, es que uno no puede tener un minuto en el sentido de posesión, o sea, en el mismo sentido de que alguien puede tener un gato o tener tos. Entonces, no te lo puedo prestar. No seas grosero, joven imbécil. Dame el minuto. Dámelo ahorita. No le doy nada a usted, gritó Juan. Ni un minuto. No se lo doy. La otra anciana, enfurecida, le dio una patada en la espinilla, la cual causó un moretón que duró 3 semanas. Pobre Juan. En el futuro, dales lo que quieran. Now, here you have the transcript of that entire short story. On your paper, underline the direct object pronouns and then the indirect object pronouns. ¿Listos? There it is. All right, let's get into this lesson. So, the direct object receives the action of the verb. The indirect object receives the direct object. For example, in this English sentence, the monkey gives the money to me. The monkey is the subject. What is it giving? It's giving the money. In that case, money is the direct object because it is what is given. It receives the action of giving. And then who receives the money? Me, making me the indirect object. Now, you can replace direct objects with direct object pronouns. For example, I love Juan. I love him. Juan is the direct object. Who do I love? Juan, direct object. You don't want to say Juan forever. You replace him with the word him. Him is the direct object pronoun. Here's another example. Yes, I buy blueberries. Yes, I buy them. Blueberries is the direct object. They are what you buy. You can replace that with the word them. That's called a direct object pronoun. So it's the same idea in Spanish. For example, in this sentence, amo a Juan, lo amo. Who do I love? Juan. And you can replace him with the direct object pronoun lo. Look at this sentence. Sí, compro los arándanos. Sí, los compro. What are you buying? Arándanos. And how do you replace los arándanos? Los. Here they are again, direct object pronouns. Me, te, lo, la, nos, los, and las. Notice that lo can mean him, it can mean it if it's a masculine thing, and it can mean you for usted. And la can mean her, it can mean it for a feminine thing, and it can mean you for usted if you're a female. Los can mean them or you all, same as las. Las would be a feminine them and a feminine you all. Now, you're going to use indirect object pronouns to replace indirect objects. I give money to Juan. I give money to him. Juan here is the indirect object. Why? Because he's receiving the direct object, which is what? What do you give? Money. You can replace Juan with the word him here. I give money to him. Yes, I buy blueberries for Juan. Yes, I buy him blueberries. In this case, Juan is also the indirect object because he's receiving the direct object, blueberries. And you replace him again in English with him. And in Spanish, yo le doy el dinero a Juan, yo le doy el dinero. Who is receiving the dinero? Juan in this case. And the pronoun that replaces Juan is le. Yo le doy el dinero. In this one, sí, le compro los arándanos a Juan. Sí, le compro arándanos. Again, Juan is the indirect object receiving the arándanos. Replace him with le. And, again, here are the indirect object pronouns. Me, te, le, nos, les, se. So, look at le. Le means him, it means her, it means it, and you for usted, masculine or feminine there. Les can mean them or you all, also masculine or feminine things. These are the indirect object pronouns. Le and les can be replaced with se, and we'll talk about that in a minute. So this sentence here, le doy el dinero a Juan, from the earlier example, already has the pronoun le in it. So it almost, to an English speaker's brain, seems to be saying, I give him the money to Juan. But it's not. It just means I give the money to Juan. So what has to happen is, if you have an indirect object in Spanish, not pronoun, but if you have an indirect object in your sentence, like Juan receiving something, you also need the object pronoun, the indirect object pronoun that goes with him, which seems redundant, but that's how it is. Now, when you have direct object pronouns and indirect object pronouns in the same sentence, this is when le and les could turn into se. The indirect object pronoun always comes first. Indirect first, direct second. Indirect, then direct. Indirect first, direct second. Indirect object pronoun first, direct object pronoun second. Now, if your indirect object pronoun is le or les, and your direct is lo, la, los, or las, then the indirect changes to se. So what's happening is, if the indirect pronoun, object pronoun starts with an L, and the direct object pronoun starts with an L, at some point in the evolution of the language, the indirect object pronoun turned into se. So you never have le, lo, you have se, lo. You never have les, los, you have se, los. Let's do our Juan and the money example. I give money to Juan, I give it to him. Money, direct object, Juan, indirect object, it, direct object pronoun, him, indirect object pronoun. In Spanish, yo le doy el dinero a Juan. Yo se lo doy. Yo se lo doy. Not le. So the money's the direct object, Juan's the indirect object. Direct object pronoun is lo. That's replacing the money. And it in the second sentence, yo se lo doy, it's the second pronoun. The indirect always comes first, and the indirect object pronoun is le, but you can't say lelo. You have to say se lo. Where do you place pronouns? In front of conjugated verbs. Se lo decimos. We say it to him or them. And in front of negative commands after the word no. No se lo digas. Don't tell it to him. You attach both pronouns. Indirect first, indirect, 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 direct. You attach to infinitives, voy a decírselo. You attach to affirmative commands, díselo. And you attach to the present participle, which is that form of the verb that ends in ando or yendo. Estoy diciéndoselo. When you attach pronouns, there's some rules involving accents. Here we go. You always write an accent on the present participle when you attach a pronoun. Comprándolo. If I had more than one pronoun, it would still be in the same place. The accent is going to be on whatever letter is in front of the in ndo. It's either going to be an A like comprándolo or an E like leyéndolo. You always need an accent when you have an affirmative command of at least two or more syllables and you attach one or more pronouns. For example, cómpralo. Cómpralo. The accent before you attach the pronoun is going to be on the second to last syllable before you attach the pronoun. So that's compra. What's the second to last syllable? Com. So when you attach one or two pronouns, the accent is going to stay on that second to last syllable before you attached the pronouns. Ponlo. Why is there no accent? Because it doesn't have two syllables and it's only one pronoun. Whenever you have an infinitive and you attach two pronouns, you need an accent. If you only attach one, you don't. Comprárselo. Accent on the final syllable of the infinitive. Comprar. If you only had one pronoun, you would not have an accent. Comprarlo does not have an accent. And if you have a one-syllable affirmative command, like pon, when you add two pronouns, you do need an accent. Póntelo. Compare that to ponlo above, no accent, póntelo accent. All right, here's some extremely minor things. If you have a nosotros command, an affirmative one, and you're using the third person singular indirect object pronoun, and then the direct object pronoun, beginning with L, lola, los, or las, the S of that indirect object pronoun disappears. Let me give you an example. For the command, let's give it to him, it's démoselo. And what's happening here? Demos is the command ending in an S. The him is se, and the it is lo. But instead of having a double S, one of the S disappears. Démoselo. More extremely minor material. If you have an ustedes command, an affirmative one, and you are commanding people to do something to us, commanding you all to do something to us, then the N on the direct or indirect object pronoun nos does not disappear. So you're going to have a double N. Look at this. Give them to us, you all. Dennoslo. Dennoslo. Muy bien. You're about to do some practice. And when you put these sentences into Spanish, use the following grammatical categories and symbols to identify the part of speech of every single word in the sentence. Bien. Practicar. Put this into Spanish. The water, give it to me. The horses, Juan gives them to Maria. He gives her them. The flag, they're going to give it to Juan and Maria. They are going to give it to her. Lies, he's telling them to us. Don't tell them to us. The table, give it to me. Wait, don't give it to me. Give it to him. Wait, don't give it to him. I'm giving it to them. Wait, they're going to give it to us. Wait. ¿Listos? All right, let's see how you did. El agua, dámela. You've got article, noun, verb, pronoun, pronoun. Los caballos. Juan se los da, María se los da. You've got article, noun, noun, pronoun, pronoun, verb, preposition, noun, pronoun, pronoun, verb. La bandera van a dársela a Juan y a María. Se la van a dar. Now, you've got just a ton of shapes. Any patterns here that are jumping out at you? Look at the pronouns. The tall purple triangle. Do they, in every single case, happen to be right next to each other? Yes. Indirect first, then direct. Whether or not they're attached, they're going to be right next to each other. You don't want to split them up. Let's do the last two. Número 4. Las mentiras. Está diciéndonoslas. No nos las digas. La mesa, dámela. Espera, no me la des. Dásela a él. Espera, no se la des. Estoy dándosela a ellos. Espera, van a dárnosla. Espera. Again, look at all these pronouns. Tall purple triangles. All are next to each other. Indirect, indirect.